Alright, hello everyone. Today we're going to be playing PROTOFLICKER by ewop and more. I'm going to start off by saying I'd pretty much only recommend this level to you if you're fine with unbalanced gameplay. The gameplay in this level does seem to be purposefully unbalanced, where some parts are just harder than the others, and that's the main point of those parts. I would also not recommend this if you're playing this as a new hardest. If you're looking for a new hardest, I'd definitely look elsewhere than PROTOFLICKER. As always, I'm not going to waste your time. I'm going to go through the level and give you guys some tips and tricks on how to beat it. Alright, so the beginning of PROTOFLICKER isn't really that terrible. It has some awkward timings initially when you're first learning them, but when you get more and more used to them, they become more and more consistent. Something I really found helpful when I was going through this part in PROTOFLICKER was clicking in the middle of each of the orbs. There are only a few orbs that you have to buffer in this beginning, but most of these orbs you can just hit in the middle and you can have a comfortable timing with them. At this point right here, after this yellow orb that is inside the green size portal, there is an invisible black orb on this block right there if you saw me press it. I always would click on that black orb just because it was very consistent for me. I would definitely just recommend doing that just to get some consistency with the beginning of the level, because the beginning of the level, when inconsistent, is incredibly annoying, but that's the case with most extreme demons. Alright, now we're at the wave. This is one of the staple parts of the level. The wave is very spammy, I'd say. A very good test I would do to make sure you're ready for this level is to spend at least 10 minutes trying to do this wave, and if you can't do this wave, that very likely means you're not ready to take on this level. And if you're able to do the wave in less than 10 minutes, it's still not that comfortable because, you know, the rest of the parts, but that wave is very hard. I'm not gonna go out and say it's the hardest part of the level because I'm not entirely sure, but that wave part is definitely just a major difficulty spike for no reason. Other than that though, there's not many tips I can give with this wave just because it's entirely click pattern dependent, and it's really hard to teach click patterns. One thing I will always say though is that if there's a part that looks like you have to spam, don't spam. I always say this, but control your clicking. Your clicks are more important than just spamming. Having a click pattern in your head is just more important than just having a spam pattern in your head. I would recommend heavily practicing a lot of these parts in slow speed because of the just high amount of CPS that are needed in some of the parts. Alright, cool. Now this is the official drop at 21%, and it's not really that bad. Like I said, it's a bunch of click pattern, and I honestly would like to say that a lot of this level is click pattern focused, so there's not many tips for me to give you. Some things I will say though is that at certain ship parts, you really want to have a set click pattern in your head for them. For example, right here, I would do 2 clicks on this upside down strafe fly, but you could easily get away with doing 1 if you wanted to, but I found 2 to be more consistent. And like right here at this UFO, you only have to click 3 times at this spam. You don't have to spam as much as you think you have to or as much as you want to. Make sure you're just limiting your clicks and not confusing yourself. That's something that will also come in handy when you're trying to do harder levels. Limiting your click pattern is a very useful tool to help with both your stamina in levels and just overall building your muscle memory on certain levels. Like I always say, unless the part is specifically built to be spammed through, there is no point in spamming. This upcoming duel seems a little confusing at first, but it's really easy. It's 2 clicks. You just have to click at the beginning here and then click right there. That's all you have to do. And this memory-ish section is the section I consider to be the hardest in PROTOFLICKER. It's just because there are some awkward timings, such as these 3 orbs right here. The upcoming actual memory kind of maze part is just completely RNG in my opinion, especially these blue orbs. I really didn't like them, but as you see right here, I'm going through it and it's not really that bad. It's just playing it from 0 and actually trying not to get confused, which is the hard part. Right here, a lot of the clicks on these orbs are in the middle, but sometimes they get messed up, which really sucks and makes this part very RNG. After here, the difficulty of the level begins to fall off a lot. The last hard part is these 2 wave clicks right here, just because they're so sudden and kind of awkward. Other than that, it's just timings from here on out. There's not much else for me to say. It's just knowing the click pattern, which is unfortunate because I'd really like to give a full tutorial for this level, but I really can't because it's just entirely click pattern dependent. Yeah, that was PROTOFLICKER. I'll save my opinions for the level for the end of the video, but just know right now, this level was a really good experience for me, just because I really did find the gameplay to be non-boring. But yeah, that's all I have to say about the level for now. No! Yes! Yes! Yes!
What the
Finally!
fuck?
What the fuck? That was like 3 attempts!
Bro, beat
That's so
PROTOFLICKER?
stupid.
Holy shit! Yes!
Wait,
That was
He
so
likes
quick!
cock.
Bro, what?
That's so dumb.
Holy
How
fuck! That took
how?
so long! Alright, that was PROTOFLICKER. I'm not going to try to blow smoke up the asses of any of the creators of PROTOFLICKER, but PROTOFLICKER is one of the best extremes in the game in my opinion. It's definitely now my second favorite extreme in the entire game, and I think it's just because I like the overall vibe of it. The gameplay and the decoration do work really well together just to produce this feeling of, I can't explain it, but it just has this really cool vibe to it, if that makes sense. It just gets you in a trance, if that makes sense. Anyways, in terms of enjoyment, I gave PROTOFLICKER a 10 out of 10. I had a really good experience with this level. I did fluke the level. Learning the level was kind of annoying at first, but when I actually put everything together, it was incredible. It felt amazing to go through everything. And at first when I did start playing this level, I was scared at the memory part at like 51 to 70, but when I played it more and more, those parts became my favorite parts. So overall, the gameplay of this level really just scratched a really good itch in my brain, if that makes sense, of both learniness and consistency. And in terms of decoration, I gave PROTOFLICKER a 10 out of 10. This level is very unique for being a glow extreme, and I think this level does its style very well. It doesn't stay the same the entire level, it switches up a really good amount, and it knows how to exert itself in the parts it needs exerting. For example, like the beginning of the level, the slowest part, it's not really that in your face, but then when you get to the faster parts of the level or the climax of the level, the decoration and just overall effects of the level they just push themselves out to you. And I find that really cool. It has its own build-up. Anyways, that's all I want to say. My dog's having a nightmare right now. Thank you guys for watching and have a good day.